Yo, what's up coders, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we will learn how to create a snake game using the pygame module. So without wasting any time, let's get right into it. Okay, so let me just give you a quick demo of this game so that you can have an idea that what kind of snake game we are making. So this is the whole program of it. It barely took around 89 lines of code, and if I just run this program, you can see that this is the interface of the game. The red blocks are the food, which would be placed randomly, and yes, that's pretty much it. So let's get started. Okay, so I'll guide you step by step, you, so that it would be easier for you to learn that how this game is created. So first of all, we have to import two modules, pygame and random module. And then the step one is to initialize the pygame using the init function of the pygame module. This would initialize the pygame module so, so that it would be easier for us to create the game. Next is to define the constants. So the first two constants are the width and the height of the screen, and then its grid size, and then its grid width, which would be this expression, and then grid height, and then it's the snake speed. These are the constants we will be using for this game. Step 3 is to define the colors. This white color would be used as the background of the game, and this is the code of the white color, and then we will be using the green color for the body of the snake, and this is 0 to 2550 is the code for the green color, and then red color would be used as the food color for the food block. Then step 4 is to initialize the screen. We will be using display.setMode to initialize the screen. We will use the constant width and height for the axis for the screen, and then we have to set the title for the screen, which would be just simple as snake game. Then step 5 is to create a snake variable. So these basically are segments for the snake, and the snake direction is the initial direction of the snake, which would be amended, and we would amend these segment these directions later on. So step 6 is to create a food variable, which would just randomly create food on the screen. We will use the random module here. Using the random function, we will define the direction in which range we have to add the random food blocks, and yes. So the next step 7 is to define the game variable. The game variable is just set as 0 initially. Next is step 8, which would be basically the game loop. Initially we will make the boolean for the running true, and then we will start the pygame clock so that we can synchronize the game. So next step is to run a while loop, which would create a game loop basically. For example, if the quit event is typed, the running would be false and the game would be closed. And if the key down button would be pressed, then it would look for these conditions that the direction of the snake should not be equal to 0 and 1, means the direction of x and y axis should not be equal to 0 and 1. And then if these conditions are acceptable or lies between the condition, then the snake direction would be changed to 0 and the y-axis would be -1. and if the k down k down event is pressed, then it would again look for the condition that it should not be lying in the axis of 0 and y-axis of -1, and if it's not so, then it would change the direction of it to 0 and 1. And if the left button is typed, then it would look for and again for the condition that it should not be equal to 1 and 0, and if this condition is passed, then the snake direction would be changed to -1 and 0. And then same with the right button, when it's triggered it should not be equal to the previous condition, and if it's not, then it would change the direction of the snake. Then step 9 is to move the snake. Move the snake is basically adding a new head, inserting a new head into the snake. For example, if we will add the both the segments with the snake direction, it would insert a new head in the direction which the snake would be in. So step 10 is to check if the snake ate the food. So that is pretty easy. We have to check that we will compare the axis of the snake and the food. If they are equal, then the score would be added to 1, means 1 will be added to the score. It would increase if the player gets the food multiple times, the score would be added 1, 2, 3, and so on. And then we would generate another food at random. If that's not the condition, then the snake would pop up. So the step 11 is to check for game over conditions. This is basically the main thing which will allow the game to be finished. For example, we will check that the game segments is less if it's less than 0, or it's greater than the grid width, or it's less than 0. And then these are some conditions. If these conditions are passed, then the if these conditions are passed, then the running would be false. Then step 12 is to clear the screen. It would basically clear the screen, and it would add a white color in, uh, in the interface of the screen. So step 13 is to draw the snake. To draw the snake, we would use the draw.rectangle function, as we will be creating a rectangle shaped body of the snake. So we will we will define the variable screen for the surface, and then we will define the color. It should be green, as we use the color green for the body of the snake. And then these are the segments where the the snake head would be created. Step 14 is to draw the food. Drawing food is also pretty same. We will change the color to red, as we will be defining the color for the food to red. And then these are the direction where the food would be placed. Then step 15 is to update the display. This would just flip the display, which would update the display, as this game is running in a loop. Then step 16 is to control the speed of the game. This would basically keep the record of the frame rate just to synchronize the game properly. And then step 17 is to just end the game, which would be using the .quit function of the pygame. Yes, so that's it for today's video. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.